I think they want to have this one platform. You go to advertising.amazon.com and they will try to consolidate all their features, which were across, like you said, AAP, now DSP, Amazon Marketing Services, Seller Central. I definitely think they will have everything available within Amazon advertising.
This is the Ecommerce Braintrust, a podcast about building momentum online for established consumer brands. Join our hosts and their expert guests for high-level conversations about e-commerce strategies, trends, and innovations. Access our Braintrust and boost your brand's e-commerce potential.
Hello and welcome back to the Ecommerce Braintrust podcast. I am your host, Kiri Masters from Bobsled Marketing. And today I'm joined by another Bobsled Marketing team member, Stefan Jordev. Welcome back to the show. You've been on a couple of times now.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Kiri.
So Stefan's a PPC manager at Bobsled and you've been with us for just over 2 years now. And on today's podcast, we're going to be talking about all of the different innovations that we've seen or heard rumors about and are expecting to be rolled out in the next few months and into 2019. So this episode's really a getting into the head of an experienced Amazon PPC practitioner with Stefan. So there's been, just to kick us off here, there's been a couple of leaks / new beta programs with Amazon advertising. And so the most notable one recently was a big sort of accidental leak on Amazon's YouTube channel, funnily enough, where they launched a video about how this new feature was going to work. And we all got excited about it, shared the video with our clients, and then Amazon took it down within a few hours. So it's pretty clear that that was an accident, but we did get a preview into what those changes are. So can you kick us off with what that change is and why it's significant for advertisers on Amazon?
Yeah, totally. I'm actually very happy we're having this conversation today because I've seen the actual changes being enrolled in many accounts. And just a quick overview, a definition of what's happening and an overview of these features being rolled out. I think a lot of the product display targeting options are getting included within sponsored products. So basically, the manual targeting campaigns will now have the ability to target categories, individual products, even brands. And I have to say, I was looking at it this morning. They have a lot more features for refining your targeting options than product display ads do in AMS.
And just as a refresh, the product display ads are the only campaign type where you can actually target specific ASINs.
Yes.
Right? That's the level of targeting you can do. Everything else, you can't target where you appear or what brands you appear or what interests, demographics. We don't have any of that type of targeting in Amazon until now.
Yep, totally. And they've only been available for AMS users, and we have been waiting for a while for product display ads to come to Seller Central. And I think this might be it. This may be the change we were waiting for. Like a lot of the product display features are coming. They're just coming under the sponsored products campaign type.
Right. Yep. Well, that's good because I think that the product display ads within AMS they're used for different strategic reasons, but they don't have the same kind of direct ROI that a sponsored product ad has. So they typically comprise like 10% or less of what a typical brand is spending on paid search already.
Totally. I think, they had some features which are now removed. I think they've definitely made things a lot easier for advertisers. Product display ads within AMS currently need a custom creative to be included. They go through the approval process from Amazon. It takes a few days until it's usually faster than that, but it can take up to several days for them to be approved. they've definitely made things easier for advertisers now. And I actually like them being included within sponsored products.
Yeah, because the approval time is faster.
Yes,
You get a bit more freedom. Yeah.
the approval time is faster, and my hope is they are within sponsored products. We will probably get some better reporting on them. Sponsored products as a campaign type, they have lots of reports available, and I'm sure they will be refined to reflect these new changes. So we'll probably get some more data than what we currently do for product display ads in AMS.
Okay, that's good to know. So the announcement that we saw that the targeting features will be way more advanced than we've ever seen before, even with the product display ad types in AMS.
Yes, totally. A lot more features, a lot more refinements to make, a lot more. Anytime you have the ability to refine how you target, you have that ability to make your ACoS lower. You can see which brands are working for you to attack. You can see which categories your product performs best in. And of course, there were workarounds, there were ways for you to do this with product display ads, but it required a lot more work and a lot more campaigns creation. And I think I have to say, Amazon has done a great job with these. You actually can have all these categories, products being targeted and have enough data to make informed decisions to make your campaigns better.
Super cool. So are we seeing this in Seller Central right now?
Well, yes, we are. The thing is, we didn't see it yesterday, the day before. Today, I am seeing it available for all of the Seller Central clients we work on. I am seeing comments on Facebook, people saying they had it and then they lost it for a while. So it's definitely very early beta, but they are definitely getting rolled out.
So this is breaking news, folks. Thursday, November the 1st is when we're recording this. Hopefully we get this episode out ASAP. So anything else to add on the changes to manual sponsored product campaigns?
Well, I think one of the features we didn't talk about, one of the features I actually haven't had time to examine in more depth, but was mentioned on the video, was the auto campaigns had the ability to refine targeting from more narrow and related to your products to a broad targeting type where you are actually trying to get as much volume as possible. If I remember from the video, there were 4 layers of targeting where you can start from the most narrow one to a very broad targeting option. I am just reporting on what I saw from the video. I definitely think it's coming alongside the sponsored product manual campaign changes. And it might be something for all advertisers to use. And everybody have a very clear idea about which targeting options they want to use. And like I said earlier, anytime you get a chance to refine your targeting options, you have an opportunity to improve your campaigns. So I'm very excited to see those along as well.
It is really exciting. And it has been a big year in 2018 for changes and upgrades to Amazon advertising. The one that immediately comes to mind is just Amazon advertising. It used to be AMS, SSPA. There were a million different acronyms. There was also Amazon Media Group, which is the sort of the whole division of what is now Amazon advertising. And that included the programmatic type of advertising, which was known as AMG for brands. And then we also had AAP, Amazon Advertising Platform. It was so confusing. There were so many different acronyms out there about different ad types and teams and platforms and stuff like that. Now it's just Amazon Advertising. And that when that announcement came out of that sort of internal rebrand that they had, that really demonstrated to me that they wanted to make advertising on Amazon about so much more than just sponsored products or even just AMS. They really wanted to bring together a lot of the programmatic and display stuff that we were seeing on the DSP side of things and the performance marketing on AMS and within Seller Central. So yeah, it's been seemingly a really big year in 2018 for Amazon.
Totally, Kiri. And that's a very good question because I feel like when you look at these changes individually, they don't seem really related. Like you said, the URL, the rebranding, and then the features. But when one takes a look at the bigger picture, I definitely agree with your assessment. I think they want to have this one platform. You go to advertising.amazon.com and they will try to consolidate all their features, which were across, like you said, AAP, now DSP, Amazon Marketing Services, Seller Central. I definitely think they will have everything available within Amazon advertising.
Yeah.
I do have the feeling like they're leveling out the options for sellers and vendors to have access to identical advertising features.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of alignment happening now between the vendor and seller teams and offers. And I think we're going to see more and more alignment there, hopefully. Cool. Well, what about looking further out, maybe beyond this and this immediate news and into the next few months and into 2019? What changes do you foresee in terms of, just the meat and potatoes advertising features that we have access to?
Well, I think Amazon has a lot more to offer. When we were working on AAP and when we were looking at the features it offers and taking the courses that prepared, AAP has a lot of features, whether it's banner advertising, videos. I know video creation and video advertising was among the bigger ones.
Yes.
I think Amazon has a lot more features to offer. At this point, I probably wouldn't dare to speculate which would come in which order, but AAP was a very powerful, rich with features platform. And it makes total sense for them to try to take all these features they have ready and make them available for Amazon advertising. I am sure a lot of these features will get rebranded. They will get some changes, especially trying to focus more on return on investment. I think a lot of the AA features were most focused on branding, which might not be the best fit for sellers who are actually looking to get more return on investment than actual exposure and branding. I'm sure these features will get refined, but I'm also sure they're coming. It's hard for me to be objective because I am reading only the Amazon side of things lately, but I feel like every single report I've seen talks about increased investment from Amazon into its advertising platform. I feel a lot more money is going into Amazon advertising from users switching their budgets to Amazon. And I think Amazon's response is developing the platform further and making it better for everyone.
Yeah, well, since you mentioned direct ROI, and that was something that a lot of brands who were approached by AMG for their managed service offering this year and last year were disappointed because when you think about Amazon advertising, you think about, if you're used to the performance marketing side of AMS and Seller Central, you're used to a direct ROI. You see advertising cost of sales. You see how your impressions tie back to actual sales on Amazon. And that's performance marketing. That is not really what the platform formerly known as AMG/AAP, now known as DSP. That's really not what display and programmatic advertising is designed to do. It's very much more like top of funnel awareness marketing. But the one feature that we are able to access with the programmatic platform, the DSP, is retargeting. And that sits more towards the bottom of the funnel. That has a clearer path towards ROI. That has a faster sort of conversion cycle. And I know that retargeting was one of the beta programs that Amazon rolled out, I think in the third quarter this year. I know that a lot of larger brands got invites to that. So I think that's one thing I would definitely expect to be on the near-term horizon in 2019 is retargeting options within Seller Central.
Totally. In fact, these came to Seller Central and they were named cleverly just just display ads. And when we first saw it, of course, we thought it was the product display campaigns coming to Seller Central.
From AMS. Yeah.
Totally. They just, like you said, I think there's a selection of accounts which get invited or they get this feature rolled out. It might have something to do with spend or just sales levels. We do have it available for a few clients. And this was actually a feature which came before the sponsored product. They've been here for maybe a month, maybe a little over a month now. And I definitely agree. I think when transferring features from AAP, retargeting seems to be closer to the performance marketing sellers and vendors expect. And even the initial results, we're really being careful bidding wise and how much we spend on retargeting campaigns currently. But initial results, and by initial results, I mean campaigns that have run probably for 2-3 weeks now, they seem to do well ACOS wise. A metric is very important to some sellers.
Good. Oh yeah. I mean, there's a big difference between a brand that has a strategy of expansion and awareness and growing aggressively within a market, and then a brand that has a big focus on ROI, on profitability and things like that. So that's, I think in the case of retargeting, it can be effective for both of those requirements. Any other sort of view into the future predictions that you have? You can get aggressive with this. It's no one's going to come beat down our door if we were wrong.
One thing I wanted to say, I remember us talking about this last year. And I think last year I said, when you want to see what Amazon will roll out next, look at Google and probably Facebook and their features. I think my opinion is starting to change on that subject now, because Amazon offers some unique features which have been available for them, like the platform itself being able to track all sales, being able to have some dedicated placements for advertising, which are unique to Amazon as a website, might give them the ability to innovate more in terms of introducing some campaign types which are unique to them. So I guess for 2019, my advice would be, if you want to see what will happen next, probably take a look at what was offered at AAP.
Yep.
I think it makes a lot of sense. These are features which are fully developed and running already, and I just see them being terminated. They might get changed, they might get refined, but these are types of features which have worked for somebody and will work for some clients which are looking to get more exposure, more brand visibility, more recognition of their brand. Maybe at one point, Amazon will decide to separate the campaign types by goals, like you said. Maybe some people are only interested in return on investment. And if you're interested in return on investment, you can run your sponsored products, you can run your headline search ads, they will use your product listings, and you can get that sale immediately.
Yeah.
But then if you're interested in growing your brand, you can get a whole palette of features where you can inform people about your brand more visually. You can share a video of your latest product line. You can include a lot more banners and visually appealing pictures of your products. You can just tell the story of your brand better.
Yeah.
And it might be something that's coming in the near future.
So that's a really interesting point. I think I agree with you. I would be concerned about blowback from advertisers who are not really like display advertising ready. So they're very focused on direct ROI. And the reality is, with a lot of these programmatic types of these programmatic campaigns, it will take 3 months plus for you to see any type of correlation between what you're running in display ads around the web and doing these awareness marketing campaigns. And that is not typically, when we're talking about not the big advertisers. Big advertisers have been running awareness campaigns for decades, but the sort of mid-market kind of brand on Amazon that is hooked on sponsored product ads and they've got used to seeing that ROI. My fear would be that Amazon rolls out these display types of features and those advertisers get really excited. They start running these campaigns and they don't see the ROI that they're expecting and what they're used to. So there could be some negative blowback from that. On the flip side, that's just advertising. That is sort of, if you're going to advertise on Amazon or using their third-party display network, you should know what you're doing and you should know, that's just the baseline information that you need to be aware of. And then finally, that Amazon has just so much room to grow with their advertising platforms and ad spend. And to your point around not necessarily thinking that Amazon's always going to take cues from Google, but that they have a very unique value proposition in the advertising space because of all the actual shopping data from customers. So they don't need to necessarily follow the cues of Google and Facebook because they have a completely different value proposition for advertisers, which is we know who shopped for what products at what time, how many times, how much they spent, what else they looked at. They know so much about our online purchasing behavior that Facebook has no idea about because that's all done on third-party sites. Google might have a little bit more of an idea because of the types of pixels that they can add and Google shopping campaigns and things like that. But no, they cannot hold a candle to Amazon's actual customer shopping data and research data.
I totally agree. And the risks behind it are something that has happened I think you mentioned it right on this podcast. People were a little bit disappointed with Amazon AAP. I'm 100% sure Amazon have learned their lesson. If they're doing this rebranding and these features become available for everyone, they have to do a better job of educating people. And I think it should be very clear. These are branding tools. These are exposure tools, not necessarily sales tools, which I think Amazon will do. If they do get to re-roll them and become available for everyone, from clients who have $100 to spend monthly to clients who spend millions of dollars on Amazon, I just think Amazon will just do a better job of educating people about the campaigns and the goals for which these campaigns can be used.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm not altogether hopeful that they will do as great a job of educating advertisers as they can or should. So on a related note about Amazon sort of pushing out things that they want advertisers to do, something that's come up in previous years and during Prime Day as well is that Amazon's advertising team will reach out to some sellers and say, hey, we're the account management team for Amazon advertising, and we want to put you in what's called an ad success program where Amazon's account managers will optimize current campaigns and create new campaigns for you. And it's particularly seeming to me around the holidays and around Prime Day. And I've heard very negative feedback about this program in the fact that account managers are primarily incentivized to just increase spend, in some cases seemingly without any limit. So the feedback has been they would set up these campaigns that would duplicate existing campaigns that were really unprofitable. They just wanted to spend sort of at all costs. But this is Amazon reaching out to a brand and saying, hey, we'll help you with your ad campaigns. We want to help you be really successful over the holidays. So just curious what you've heard from brands about that ad success program or direct experience of your own.
For one of the clients that I manage, I think the communication was obviously Amazon reaching out to the client and then probably the client approving. But I actually had a bulk file ready for me to upload to Amazon and have the campaign available there. It's too early to tell about how it will perform, but there are several things that indicate, of course, that Amazon is pushing for a higher spend. which may end up impacting ACoS and profitability levels for some sellers. A few features that I want to highlight here is when I took a deeper look at that bulk file that creates the campaign, bids are actually, they were maybe 200% higher than the actual cost per click rates. Now, I want to be fully transparent. This is a client who has AMS account in UK. So cost per click rates have been lower than the US there, but the bids that Amazon recommends do indicate that in the future, this may impact profitability as cost per click will increase. Of course, It doesn't necessarily mean they will increase, but with bids as high as those, it's almost certain.
So you're kind of giving Amazon kind of the benefit of the doubt here and saying, hey, the bids were really high, but that might just be because we're coming into the holidays. Is that a fair assessment?
I am. When somebody gives you an Excel.
You're a bit nicer than me. I'm immediately wary.
Well, I have to say that they did save me some research hours. I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. One thing I love about Amazon and performance marketing, if it doesn't work, I'll know within days. And we'll see that this campaign is either not selling or ACoS is really high.
Yeah. And you're able to split that campaign out and say, look, this was really unsuccessful.
I think, I'm not sure if I mentioned one thing that was enabled by default was Bid Plus. And this is also a feature which increases your cost per click rates. They had it available by default. And with bids as high as those and Bid Plus, it really can turn into a high cost per click season for this client.
Right. Yes. There's a tenuous relationship that all advertisers have with Bid Plus. Let's just leave it at that. All right. Great. Well, this has been really insightful, I think, and a good view into the immediate future and longer term as well. Is there anything else that you would like to leave our listeners with today?
No, this has been the most exciting podcast we've had. I think there's a lot of innovation going on in Amazon. I really wish for some of the features they would have waited until Q4. The craziness from Q4 is over, but there's definitely changes happening. There are definitely more changes coming our way. And I think Amazon just wants us to keep us on our toes and see how we can utilize these new features and optimize campaigns even further.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming back on the show and sharing your insights.
Thanks for having me.
And happy holidays.
Happy holidays.